The stories and the reports that come from those pro days are like, oh, this team had a big dinner reservation and these guys showed up. We do know that the Panthers had a big contingent in Columbus yesterday. Tom, what else do we know?
I'm going to read you a quote from Panthers GM Scott Fitter after the pro day workout for C.J. Stroud. He said, I thought he threw the ball really well. He's very comfortable. The ball jumped off his hand, moved around, moved the pocket, and just showed a lot of touch, a lot of strength in the arm. We saw everything we need to see. They did have dinner with C.J. Stroud the night before the workout. They're going to bring him in to Charlotte for another meeting prior to the draft. But guess where the Panthers were last night? Having dinner with Bryce Young in Tuscaloosa. They're also going to bring Bryce Young in after his pro day to come into Charlotte for an additional meeting. They're going through the process here. You're going to read similar quotes throughout. And regardless of what idea they may have in their head at the start of this process about who they're going to take, we've seen opinions change during the process before. And that's why everyone is at these pro days, not just the GM, not just Coach Frank Reich. The owners are there. The offensive coordinator, Thomas Brown, is there. The quarterback's coach, Josh McCown, is there. Everybody who needs to be involved with molding whatever young quarterback it is going to all of these workouts. And so the next showcase is today with Bryce Young, and we'll see, as they're seeing these guys back to back, which can be valuable at times to see them all in person, see how the ball comes out of their hands. We'll see where the opinions go.
Yeah, the pro day went, I guess, exactly how yesterday we talked about it, exactly how you expected it to go. He threw the ball very well, moved around the pocket. It was fun to watch. I think I forgot kind of the hoopla and everything that goes along with pro day. All of those people standing behind C.J. Stroud. And I think for me, you go back to your own pro day, there were no owners, there were no general managers. It was a ton of scouts that I've never seen on TV with a bunch of logos. So you realize as you're watching, like, there's levels to this thing. You may not have that, but C.J. Stroud had that yesterday, and he showed out as well while all of those people were watching, reminding me of, like, your father and your daughter brings home her fiance, and the whole family loves him. They embrace him, they welcome him. And that was the Carolina Panthers after he finished the pro day. Every single person walked up to C.J. Stroud, from Frank Reich to McCown to Caldwell to Thomas Brown, offensive coordinator. Everybody give him the handshake, talking to him, telling him how well he did. And McCown even went as far to say, hey, when you move to Charlotte, we can get this game a horse in. We can find a local basketball court. We can go out there, and I'm assuming that's from conversations leading up to the pro day. And as I'm watching, I'm just like, oh, yeah, it's a done deal. And C.J. Stroud, he's going first overall. He'll be wearing a Carolina's Panthers jersey. And then you remember, like Tom Pelissero just said, they're having the same meal with Bryce Young today. They're going to do all of the same thing as they go through the circuit. And McCown's breaking it down right there. Yeah, we'll find that court. So it was fun to watch for these young guys in this moment, getting their time to shine. Pro day went well for them, obviously, as you've heard everybody said, but I enjoyed watching that yesterday.
That is a great image right there. Like, could that be, if they take him, that's the image. He's shaking hands with the owner and the coach. And yet, like, I vividly remember years ago, USC Sam Darnold's pro day, the Haslam family, who had the #1 pick, was up there with the Darnold family, and they're sitting and they're talking, and there's pictures of him. And you're like, oh, well, he's going to the Browns. Didn't go to the Browns, took Baker Mayfield. It is kind of a status symbol, though, isn't it, about who shows up to your pro day? Famously, Cam Newton had 5 head coaches in the NFL at his pro day. They all made the trip. So it kind of shows, like, how famous you are, how exciting you are. I think Stroud, I would say he held serve. Like, these pro days, you can blow it. There's not a lot he could have done, I think, in the positive. Yes, we know he can throw really well. He threw great. He looked excellent. That's who he is. He didn't blow it. He didn't airmail passes. He held serve. And we're going to do this for another month. And it's going to be him, and it's going to be Young, and God willing, it's going to be Richardson in the conversation. I do think he made one mistake. And it comes from a TV production perspective. If I was him, if I was Stroud, I would have requested that the interview with David Carr afterwards be standing. Because David Carr is 6'3", and he would have stood right next to him and showed how tall he is. They were sitting, and I would have had a whole bunch of quotes about, you know, pro days, they're a tall order. You know, I didn't want to come up short. This is a game of inches. I want to take this organization to great heights. I would never want to start out, 5 and 10. 5 and 10, those are bad numbers. I'd rather start, 6 and 3 and stand next to David Carr, who's also 6'3", and just stand right next to him, show how tall he is. He's seated for the whole thing, which I think takes away one of his greatest assets in the Stroud versus Young debate. Now, Young, you better sit. You better lie down on the ground. Don't be standing next to David. Maybe you can talk to Steve Smith, who is much shorter than David Carr. Maybe Rappaport can go do the interview, and then he'll look, like he's a Ryan Mallett or something. He'll be 6'7". I love you, Ian. But I think those optics are important because it's going to come down to that height thing. He threw the ball great. I would have stood for the interview. That's what I'm saying.
You should be an agent.
Maybe so.
Genius.
Maybe so.
That was genius. At the combine, and at the back end of the quarterback throwing at the combine, Stacey Dales interviewed Anthony Richardson, and I interviewed Bryce Young, 5 feet apart and 35 seconds apart. And someone did point that out. Like the producers knew what they were doing when they paired Stacey Dales, Anthony Richardson, and Bryce, because with his backpack on, which feels like that's the only image I've seen of Bryce Young in the last 3 months, is him just walking around with his kicks and his backpack on. We were right there. I'm 5'7"-ish, and he's at 5. I mean, everyone knows he's 5'10" and an 1/8. But back to C.J. Stroud. It was, to your point, it's been really interesting, I think, listening to Ryan Leaf over the last couple of weeks because his stories of how he prepared or lack of preparation ahead of his combine and into his pro day is fascinating, and I think it's a lesson learned for all of these young quarterbacks coming out is that you can only do damage to yourself, I think, in situations like this. And the argument could be made that, don't participate, only put the numbers out. But this young man is walking around Columbus, Indianapolis, wherever he goes at the dinner table with a confidence and an air about him to call yourself a ball placement specialist and then have to go out and go through 2 intense throwing sessions. You are holding yourself to a standard and you are saying, I know what I can do. Never fear that people have been judging me at Ohio State for not maybe getting out and running the ball enough. I don't need to because I can place the ball exactly where whoever my wide receivers are absolutely need it.
You know what else I like watching this video? Is C.J. Stroud, I think, just put on whatever he had laying on the floor of his apartment for the workout there.
He's out of the hamper.
I sometimes think there's an inverse relation between the amount of swag you have in terms of your clothing at Pro Day and how good you actually end up being in the pros, whether you're Johnny Manziel, Zach Wilson. If you've spent a little too much time getting the hair right and the tan right and the clothing right and 5 different towels around you, TJ Stroud's just like, this T-shirt works. Throw that thing on.
I bet Andrew Luck
workout.
Who
Who
terrible
cares?
at his, right? Andrew Luck probably just some gray standard, Russell
100%.
Athletic, and then look at that. That's perfect. That's an interesting observation.
Yeah, it's a good point. He probably just through his backpack down to the library and was just like, what do you need me to do here? Ding, ding, ding.
If you smell it before you put it on, it's perfect. That's what I do before work.
In his defense, it did say Pro Day on it, so I think he had maybe a stack of Pro Day shirts, C.J. Stroud, I know.